Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Amma ba'd. I hope you are all doing well, my brothers and my sisters. Today's live shall be addressing the recent behaviors of certain du'at over the past year, whom have taken it upon themselves, under the influence of recently reverts, such as Andrew Tate and the likes, to be directly confronting sisters and their personal lives, and forcing upon them a lifestyle that's in favour of this recent red pill Islam trend upheld by these same red-pilled recently reverts, whom are influencing these du'at and their behaviour despite their little knowledge of the deen, religion itself, and don't have the same hikmah, wisdom and adab and akhlaq, manners and etiquettes as the ulama. And we all know the famous statement of the Tabi'i Muhammad ibn Sirin rahimahullah, may Allah have mercy upon him, when he said, Inna hadha al-ilmu deen, fanduru amman ta'khuduna deenakum. Verily this Islamically beneficial knowledge is religion, so be careful from whom you take your religion from. End quote. I'll firstly refute the means by how these du'ats are giving these advices to women in general, then secondly go through the specific content of these advices and dissect the haqq, truth, from the batil, falsehood. I shall be refuting these people using the authentic Islamic texts and the Quran and Sunnah with the understanding of the Salaf, following the footsteps of the statement of al-Allama, the esteemed scholar Rabi' ibn Hadi Umar al-Madkhali, hafidhahullahu wa ra'ahu, may Allah preserve and protect him, where he said, Baynana wa baynakum salaf, baynana wa baynakum kutub, kana Ahmad yaqul baynana wa baynakum janaiz. Between us and between you are the salaf, between us and between you are the books, like Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal used to say, between us and between you are the funeral prayers. End quote. So firstly, the means. These ikhwa, may Allah guide them and guide us, ameen, have been directly confronting women in general by inviting them on podcasts. For example, Ali Da'wah and his Bitter Truth show, and calling women who don't live up to their standards derogatory names. And this is the natural result when we look up to ignorant people like Andrew Tate and co. as our role models, instead of the Anbiya, prophets and messengers of Allah, Salaf and Ulama, the Salafi scholars. So one, publicly displaying women on camera like that is absolutely disgusting and goes against the purpose of hijab, veiling of women. Where is your ghira? I say to these people, where is your ghira concerning sisters? And why do you have women beautifying their voices on camera? Why do you invite these women on these podcasts? It's not from the way of the Salaf. It's not of the way of the da'wah of the prophets and messengers. Now let's look at the ghira of the companions of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So we'll be reading from the translation of Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 6846, according to Darus Salam's book print. Musa reported from Abu Awana, who reported from Abdul Malik, from Warad, the writer of Al-Mughira, from Al-Mughira, that he said, Sa'd bin Ubadah said, if I found a man with my wife, I would kill him with the sharp side of my sword. When the Prophet ﷺ heard that, he said, do you wonder at Sa'd's sense of ghira? Verily, I have more sense of ghira than Sa'd, and Allah has more sense of ghira than I. End quote. And I'll quote from Surah Al-Ahzab, ayah 32 of Surah 33. O wives of the Prophet, you are not like any other women. If you keep your duty to Allah, then be not soft in speech, lest he in whose heart is a disease should be removed with desire, but speak in an honourable manner. End quote. 2. The Prophet Muhammad was not a person to use vile language, as what we see some of these reverts and from some of these du'at, picking up these terms from them. They use vile language to describe women with. So these du'at using vile language instead of saying females or women to refer to women who go against their values is having bad adab. Sahih al-Bukhari 3559. Abdullah bin Amr, may Allah be pleased with them both, said, the Prophet ﷺ never used bad language. He used to say, the best amongst you are those who have the best manners and character. End quote. Second, the content. These du'at pushing the red pill Islam trend have been directly enforcing upon women in general that they must stay home at all times and nurture the children somehow, whilst obeying their husbands to the pinnacle, as long as it doesn't entail disobedience to Allah, continuously doing house chores and cooking 2 or 3 times plus daily for their husbands and to their husbands' delight. Here there is part haqq mixed with batil, a thing which we know the Yahud Jews to be riddled with and saturated upon. Now, I will say without any fear, the best place Islam prescribes women to stay in is in their homes, and the most important obedience in Islam that comes after the abd's obedience to Allah is the wife's obedience to her husband, as we can see from the following evidences. So Quran 33:33, Surah Al-Ahzab, and stay in your houses and do not display yourselves like that of the times of ignorance, and perform salah and give zakat and pay and obey Allah and His Messenger. Allah wishes only to remove al-rijs, evil deeds and sins from you, O members of the family of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and to purify you with a thorough purification. End quote. And Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah's statement in his Majmu' al-Fatawa 32-60, and is it not upon the wife, after she fulfills the rights of Allah and His Messenger, she fulfills the rights of her husband? End quote. However, nonetheless, the salih, righteous husband will know his obligation to allow his wife to be upon her own self-improvements in every realm of human endeavour, as these red pillars say, and won't demand from her much pertaining to cooking and house chores, and would be generous and help her out in such affairs. And we all know that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to help his wives out when it came to looking after the house and house chores, etc. The righteous husband allows and prescribes his wife to go to the masjid with him on Fridays and makes Fridays and the 2 Eids really special for her according to her delights. That isn't disobedience to Allah. The righteous husband even eats meals made from simple plain foods that his wife quickly prepares for him. So both of them can focus on the akhirah, hereafter, and other areas of self-improvement such as their health, physical fitness, etc. The righteous husband works together with his wife in nurturing the children, both sons and daughters, and allows both of them to get as much ajr, reward from Allah, as possible by teaching as many areas of Islam and its correct understanding as much as possible to their children. Let's take al-Allāmah Muqbil ibn Hadi al-Wadi'i rahimahullahu, may Allah have mercy upon him, as an example. Sheikh Muqbil would tell his wife to cook simple foods. Sheikh Muqbil passed on his ilm, knowledge, to his daughter, which you can all benefit from the both of them today. I have even got content from his daughter's works on my social media handles. May Allah preserve her. I hope that this matter is clear to you all, inshaAllah, and will become clear to anyone that listens to this. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.